Hi everyone, yeah, I'm looking rough, and I haven't changed my shirt since yesterday. But anyway, continuing the haunting. So at the time, um, my mother had a boyfriend that also lived in the house. But he had stated that he never had, any occurrences. Well, one night, my mother had left to go to Scranton, Pennsylvania to play bingo. And when she got back home, um, he was pacing at the bottom of the stairs in front of the door. And when she got home, he had stated that a silhouette of a lady had came down the stairs. And he was very shaken up. Um, and I don't know how many months they had lived there at this time, but the haunting got progressively worse over time. I think my mother probably lived, she bought the house and she probably lived in it 3 years, maybe 4. And it was the first house my mother ever owned. She had owned a mobile home that we had in a trailer park, but she had never had the pleasure of owning a home. And she put very much, work into this house. The electrical system, understandably, right, she had issues with when she first moved into the house. And then she had issues with the hot water heater steaming with no water in it, which is impossible. And that's according to the hot water heater man. And then one day, like I had mentioned, my cousin, and like I said, I did not know that she had ever even went up there, had mentioned to me about the TV playing with no parts. Now, I remember that day because I remember my mother telling me prior that her TV was broken and that the TV repairman had came and took all the parts out of her TV. Well, when I went to her house and went in, the TV was playing, and this is when she still had the living room next to the front door. And I said, "Oh, Mom, you got your TV fixed. It's working good." And she looked at me, and she said, "No, Charity. No, there's no parts in it." Well, that scared the daylights out of me. Like I said, I had never lived in the house. But another time, and this was later on, and the reason I say it got worse is because she had went to get into her car, and she had came to my house, and I lived probably 20 miles away from her, shaken up. She had told me that when she went to get in her car, it would not let her in. She said that the door locks kept going up and down, up and down, up and down. Every time she tried to get into the car would lock on her. And she was very shook up. Well, when she first bought the house, she, being Catholic, called the priest to come and bless the home. It's a normal thing for Catholics. And I can't remember exactly what she said, but the priest never made it there. He never made it there to ever bless the house. So the house was never blessed. And then this is the part that really, really scared me. My mother said that she was awake, laying in her bed, and it felt like something really heavy was on her chest. And she said she was awake, but she couldn't scream, she couldn't speak, she couldn't yell. And her boyfriend didn't sleep in the same bedroom with her. He slept in another bedroom. in the house. They just didn't share the same bedroom. And she couldn't call for help. That had happened to her several times. And then, on top of that, she had a friend, and this friend used to babysit us kids when we were little. And her name was Jean Corkendale. And she had passed from cancer, like a year or 2 years prior to an incident that occurred with my mother. And I was with her one time, not long before Jean passed away, in Lloyd's Supermarket. She was in a wheelchair, sick, and she not long passed away after we seen her that day. Well, this was months, maybe even a year after the lady had died, that this incident happened to my mother. She said, again, she wasn't sure if it was a dream, but she could have swore she was awake. And she has stated to me that she seen church pews behind her. And in the church pew was Jean Corkendale, who had passed from cancer. She then stated that a man in, I can't remember if she said black or gray suit, a big man, came like walking down in between the church pews. And he had a beard and a mustache and a top hat. And like I said, I don't remember if it was a gray or black suit that she had said, but it was one of those two. And she also stated that her body had raised up off the bed. And that had happened to her several times. I get the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it and talking about it. Well, I can't remember how long after my mother herself was diagnosed with lung cancer. So, that's why I blame the house on my mother's death. So I don't know if there was a combination of bad spirit, a demon, with human spirits, or if the demon took on the living person's, resemblance, meaning, the club foot and all of that. So anyway, there was just numerous things that happened. You've seen in the photo that I posted that there is a mist over that one side of the house. That is the side of the house, the room that leads to the attic. The house was sold and bought several times since I sold it. And I've got a story about me selling it and me telling the lady that there was something in the house. And I'll do that in part 3. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye now.